Hey, welcome back. So I'm just going to show you how I set up my starter. What I do is I take a tablespoon, get a nice lid, and plunk it into this glass. And I do that twice. So it's about 2 tablespoons. It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it's going to be fed. I'm going to feed it with flour and some filtered water, and it's going to multiply in size so that it gives me about a cup or 150 grams of starter for my next loaf. Okay, I'm going to take my filtered, distilled, sat overnight water. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons into what I'm going to make my bread with, and then I'm going to feed my mama starter. 1, 2, 3. Now like I said, I make 2 to 3 loaves a week, so I don't really have a lot of time where this sits and gets funky. It will, if you let it sit for a while in the fridge and just kind of hang out, it will create a layer of gray liquor that collects at the top called hooch. All you have to do is pour it off, add some of your filtered water, a little bit of flour, and reignite it. It's really hard to kill sourdough starter. Like, you really have to neglect it in order for it to die, because it's pretty resilient. So I'm mixing the water in, and then I'm going to add, sometimes I add rye, sometimes it's just this strong bread flour. Today it's King Arthur. So I did 3 tablespoons of water. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of flour for the mama starter, and then I'm going to do 2 for my next loaf. And actually, this might not even be a loaf. I might just turn this into pancake batter, which, if you've never had sourdough pancakes, what? Amazing. So I'm going to take the rest of this and refill my canister. This is boring, folks, but I'm going to cut down on the single-use plastics. It really scares me to death that every piece of seafood I eat has got tiny little microplastics rolling around in the circulatory and digestive system. It's not healthy. So, canister complete. Okay, so I'm going to mix this one first. Sourdough as a recipe, as far as human consumption, has been around for at least 1,000 years. I don't know the actual numbers, you can do your research, but I want to say 2,000 years. I think the ancient Egyptians ate it, and it was just kind of a mistake. Somebody left some flour out with some water, and it started growing into this goo, and found out that it made a really good loaf of bread, I imagine. This was also it was a staple during the California Gold Rush. The people who lived out there during those times would carry a pouch around their neck filled with a tiny bit of sourdough starter. At the end of the day, after digging for gold, they would take it, add flour, add water, add salt. Those are the only 3 ingredients in sourdough. And they would bake themselves a loaf. And it'll take me 2 days to get through a loaf, so, you know, you could feed a bunch of guys sitting around the fire after a long day trying to find fortune with one loaf. And it's cheap, healthy. So that's the other thing too. Flour, water, salt. No fat, no preservatives. The flour, which may scare the crap out of you, yes, it'll break down in your body if you don't use sourdough starter. If you do, it will break down into usable parts, meaning the minerals, all of the vitamins, magnesium, anything that's good, the proteins that come out of wheat are made more accessible by the sourdough starter because the yeast and the bacteria digest it all for you. It's like if you've ever seen a mama bird who flies into her nest after eating a worm, digests it, and then brings it back up for the baby to eat. It's kind of that process, but not nearly as graphic. It's a little more civilized. Not that birds aren't civilized. Okay, so mixing. I need a spatula because sticky geeky. Okay. Afternoon Vivaldi. Okay, so mixing, okay? So once this is out of the fridge, you can give it a little time to cool down and then add your flour and water. I've been doing this a while, so I just throw it in and then you let it sit. So it may take a day and a half, 2 days to get enough of this, which is called the levain in American terms, which is just starter plus flour plus water, creating a larger amount of starter that you're going to put in your next pancake mix, in your next dough, whatever, biscuits, scones. I made sourdough Cheez-It knockoff crackers a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that recipe was to die for. Okay, so starter is fed, it gets its hat, and goes in the fridge. This starter is going to sit on my counter. This is an old building, so it's super drafty right by the window. Keeps it cool so it grows. It won't get moldy or funky because I'm going to cover it. And everything that I've used is sterile. This went through the dishwasher. I washed my hands. If you get mold on your sourdough, some sources say that you can just scrape it off and use the rest of the starter. I don't know that I'm that courageous with my digestive system, so I would throw it out and start over. But it's really up to you what you think that you can handle as far as digesting. So I'm going to put the lid back on this one. Okay, so that's going to hang. This goes in the fridge. Lovely. Okay. So that's it for now. I'm going to scrape the sourdough and the flour off of my work surface, and then I'll be back with the third video, where we're gonna cut, spray, and bake the loaf.